everybody. I am Haley Gray, and I'm the founder of the Women's Entrepreneur Network. And I am so excited to be with a dear friend of mine, Andrea Woolf. Andrea, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you, Haley.
We have a great topic. Y'all hold on and hang out with us. So welcome, everybody. I wanted to introduce my friend, Andrea, to you. Welcome, Andrea. So happy to have you here. So tell our audience what it is exactly that you do.
Well, I do what I love, and I've been doing it for a very, very, very long time. I'm a business and personal coach. I coach everything because it's all connected. Often people would fight me on this, and of course, they realize very quickly that it actually is all connected. If it's not going well in your business, it's probably not going to be going so well at home. So I love, love, love what I do, and I've been doing it for over 35 years. So I have coached men and women and a few confused people as well along the way. And I'm now focusing on primarily women, and it's women optimally over 50. If someone is slightly younger than that, that's super great too. But I'm really, really focusing on women because we have so much to contribute to the world, and so often that's not happening. And world can be your own world. It can be your neighborhood, and it can be like global, right? It's not about the size of the world that you're talking about. And I, I, I make it fun because life's a serious situation, and and open up like pathways and freedoms that women don't realize they actually already have, so that they can then, what I call, stand up, speak out, and shine.
Love it. So why do you think women are not reaching their maximum potential?
Well, the first thought that comes to this great question is early training, messaging that they got from their parents who were doing the best they knew how. But somehow they were treating daughters differently to sons.
Mhm.
And so I was a good girl, for example. I was an exhaustingly good girl in my family. I'm the middle child. And my brother, older brother, younger sister. So both of them would sort of take on the world and demand to be noticed. And I didn't feel the need to make it quite so hard, right? Everything
Mhm.
came easy to me as a kid because I chose what I think was the easier route. So we all found our way in the world, the three of us. But I'm very happy being me. I, you know, um, I'm a very open being, so I could be standing in line at the supermarket and someone will turn around and they're dealing with some major thing in their life. And there I go. I just, I'm really here to make a difference big time. And I'm really committed to that and make things simpler, make things achievable, um, and uncomplicate us complicated women. I mean, we are complicated. There's no question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you think about like complications that or hurdles that women have to overcome,
Yes.
what are the most common, like one or two that you see, the
I
biggest
have a
ones?
ready answer for you. It's called worry, fear, and self doubt. Worry, fear, and self doubt. So, somewhere in my coaching, always that's present. Um, I've coached very successful women in the business world, and
Mhm.
oh my God, they get in their own way. Women really in the corporate world rarely ask for a raise, rarely ask for
Correct.
promotion. Men have no challenge with this, none whatsoever. So it's very interesting, and I'm sure this is from early orientation to be a good girl, to be nice, and it gets complicated as we get older. We mesh ridiculous stuff together. So
Right.
worry is very, very, very common in women. Worry, like
Mhm.
silently worrying, right? And unfortunately, it doesn't help anything. In fact,
Right.
it gets in the way, right? So worrying if they're doing it right, worrying if they're making the right decisions, on and on and on. Worry, 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 worry. And self-doubt is classic for women.
Right.
Yeah, and that way we're holding ourselves back. So, I saw all this. I was in the corporate world before, the last 35 years, right? So I saw it all the time. I saw it all the time. Men would easy peasy, just whatever they wanted, they'd go after it and they get it. And women would like feel bad, feel resentful, feel. Yeah. So um, I
And
would
then analyze themselves into the ground.
exactly, exactly. Whereas it was just about like creating a plan, a plan, an approach plan to get to where they wanted to get. And I worked actually in very high level in my last job was for a major multinational company, and I was right-hand person to the vice chairman of the whole thing as he was taking the company public. So he was traveling all over the world all the time. And so in the office in Los Angeles, where we were based, I was central to all this, and I just saw so much and learned so much by it all, about why it is that so many men soar like the eagles and so many women don't. So, and I did my best to actually, even before I started coaching, to actually help women out to get noticed in appropriate ways, and to the asking and continuing the conversations until it's a yes. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah. No, and I think that there's a lot of cultural, and other norms that women are afraid to break out of.
Right.
If you are pushy, then you're a bitch.
Yes, these labels.
Aren't they
Mm,
wonderful?
yeah, right. So, but it's about just really being you, right? You're more than enough, just the way you come. So you don't have to
Hmm.
take on this persona that's not really you
Hmm.
to, to make progress in the world. In fact, the opposite is true. If you just stay true to yourself and embrace that there's always, we're always like looking to improve and learn and grow. I don't mean stop doing that, but I do mean uh, taking a breath, embracing your strengths,
Hmm.
and um, operating from a place of confidence and clarity, right?
Right.
In leadership roles, it's very important to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to last long in that way. But I'm very glad
Right.
to have been out of the corporate world for all this time, and having my own business. It's really a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it really is. It gives us a lot of freedom.
Yes, exactly.
So, what do you think is the biggest challenge, like from women who have left corporate and are going into their own businesses?
That's an interesting question. So, um, yeah, so you now suddenly have nowhere to lean on. It can be disorienting at the beginning, right? Because at the
Right.
beginning, I mean, I'm just thinking back, it's so many long years ago, but yeah, you're now it, right? You're now everything.
Hmm.
And often when you have an idea to start a business, you have no idea what's ahead of you, right? Or you have some idea.
Exactly.
You have some idea what you want to bring to the world, but then there's all the stuff. For me, for example, it's technical stuff. Oh my God, I am not technical, as I've told you many times. So I have,
Really?
I have a guy. I have a guy. Thank God for Pierre. And yeah, and then it takes courage. It really takes
It
courage to
does.
start a business. And what you call it at the beginning may not be what it ends up as. What you think is your messaging, it may not turn out to be exactly that, right?
Correct.
Who you thought you were targeting, it seemed like a good idea, but if you're not getting any response anywhere, right? So then
Right.
it's about staying nimble and willing to not beat yourself up and just create the change. So,
Right.
often women get really long and complicated about anything I just said. Um, they take it very personally and feel like a loser and oh my God and drama, right? And it's pointless. It's really absolutely pointless. But you'll realize that when you get to the other side of it. But you're going to move through some spaces when you start a business where it's exciting and it feels big and challenging. And then gradually, as you start attracting people into what you're offering, it feels fantastic. And then one week, nobody will respond. So there's the highs and the lows, like
Right.
constantly. Embrace them because it's part of running your own business,
Mhm.
small business. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that is a lot of it. You think you get into business and you lose those, training wheels all of a sudden that you had, that structure, that infrastructure,
Right.
all of the things, and you're it.
Right.
And especially if you're doing business in the online space, it's a very noisy space. You should do this, you should do that, you should do the other, you should do the other, you should do the
Oh, yeah.
other. And it'll bankrupt you.
Right.
And, I worked with a lot of business owners that have gone through that process, that bankrupting or nearly bankrupting process, and gotten them out the other side. But like you said, you have to trust the process. You have to go through a process and be savvy and be smart, without your training wheels and everything else. And you're basically riding your bike through some really bumpy paths.
Right. Yeah, well, I was thinking to share here, and then life can happen.
Oh, it does.
Life can happen. So for me, life happening was 3 years ago. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, which happens to
Mm-hmm.
be the strongest breast cancer there is. So I got
Right.
the strongest chemo on the market. And what
Mm-hmm.
happened at the beginning was I immediately my energy dropped. And so then I had to make a decision and I dramatically downsized my business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so here I am 3 years later, right? I've gone through all of the chemo and the
Mm-hmm.
surgeries and the
Right.
radiation,
Yeah.
all of that. I'm out the other end, thank God. But really, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. As I'm
No.
experiencing now, things happen. You have to be
Right.
corrected. And
Mm-hmm.
so I have this part of my life is now going through that journey. And
Mm-hmm.
then part of it is keeping my business going, like at the same
Right.
time. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Juggle, throw
Yeah.
another plate into the air and spin it and
Exactly.
hope that, it doesn't stop and it lands on the ground. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's
Mm-hmm.
doable. Really, I'm living proof. It is doable. Does it
Mm-hmm.
take something? Yes, it does. But
It does.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've recreated myself in this time.
Right.
It
Yeah,
has
absolutely.
dramatically changed it. Yeah.
Same. I mean, I've gone through my own set of challenges with a disabled child who has severe mental
Right.
health issues, schizophrenia, and a traumatic brain injury, and 42 hospitalizations. And like you said, you keep doing it and you have the flexibility to keep doing it in spite of all of the other things that are going on and keep reinventing yourself and keep the business going.
Right.
And it offers a level of flexibility that you might not otherwise have and be able to experience in a corporate environment. Your boss isn't going to fire you, but you may lose clients, or you may have to change the direction of your business and do all those things. And
Exactly.
that is part of it. And market conditions change, and life changes, and everything changes, and our businesses grow and adapt as a result.
Yes. Exactly.
And I want to say thank you, Elizabeth, for your sweet comment.
Lovely.
And that though. So thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah. And I mean, so you have a couple of free gifts for our viewers. Can you tell me about those?
I do. So while I was getting chemo, I don't know if you know this, but you go to the center to get it, and you sit there for hours. So I did two things when I was doing that. So one was I had a notebook, and just as thoughts would come to me, I would jot them down because I had all this time anyway, right? And that was sort of the beginning of this short book I'm about to tell you about. The other one was, I just want to quickly share that, is so I'm naturally a supporter, an uplifter of women. And so there were many women who would be in that center every time I went, who looked like they were having a very tough time.
Right.
And so if I could, I'd sit next to one of them. And if I could, I'd get them chatting. Then if I could get a giggle. All of this was sort of major victory. And so the nurses watched me do this. They were amazed I was doing it. But I mean, this is who I am. This is the who I am, like what I'm here for on the planet.
Right.
But coming back to the book, okay, so it's called. This is the first in a book series. So the first part of this is the book series, Wisdom Made Simple for Super Smart Women. And the title of this book is Making It Through Cancer and Other Life Challenges. So this is the first in the what will be of a series. It's short chapters, deliberately short, right? So it's an easy read. And it's literally the ways I identified that I was making it through cancer. So sharing my journey in each of the short chapters. So for example, I had a meeting with myself in the mirror the day I was diagnosed with, because I was in shock, triple negative, strongest breast cancer there is. So I had a meeting with myself in the mirror right outside my office door here. And I went, how am I going to get through this? So the first thing was the worry, fear, and self-doubt, like reminding me, because I was in paralysis. And then as I started to go through this, there were different thoughts that I had. So for example, how are you going to get through this? Was the first question I asked myself. And what I came up with, because it had to be something simple that I would remember every day, it was to sparkle every day. And so that's the reason I wear bling every single day. I continue to do it because it worked. It worked then, it works now, right? So I wear bling every day. So that's the story there. And so there is one of the chapters is sparkle every day. And they're wonderfully short, quick, easy read. Wisdom Made Simple for Super Smart Women, Making It Through Cancer and Other Life Challenges. So may I share the link to it?
Yep, I have already put the link in the description. So if you click on the link above and below, depending on which platform we're on, you will actually be able to get the link to the book. And you also have a workshop coming up. So why don't you share that?
I do. Yes. So what I'm focusing on right now is this idea of ignite your dream life. Ignite your dream life, not just what's okay or what would be tolerable, like settling for, none of that. It's ignite your dream life. This is for everyone, including wonderful women out there. If you're going through cancer, you can still have that dream to live into. So Yeah, so the workshop is Ignite Your Dream Life. And again, you've got the link in
The
there.
link is included in the description.
The link is included. So, yes, so I am really about like massively elevating amazing women who are like, treading gently in life, being careful, um, uh, criticizing themselves, like all that stuff that's so painful, right? And to uplift them to opening this up, the mind, opening it
Mhm.
up to believing it's possible, right? That you could actually truly, truly, truly love your life. Like no
Love it.
kidding, love your life, right? And we'll be talking about like the ways that you're getting in your own way, as well as then in the movement towards actually igniting your dream life. Let me emphasize dream life. Yes.
Right. I love that. So the link is below or above, depending on which platform we're on. And make sure you sign up. It's going to be awesome. And I hope to see you there. Thank you, Andrea. This has been amazing. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your message. Thank you, guys. Y'all check out Andrea. She is an amazing powerhouse and such an inspiration to me. And getting to know you has been wonderful, Andrea. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care, be blessed, and let's do it.